SOFest is this amazing idea that has become reality. It's become manifest. It's a party in a field where the theme is learning and curiosity and growth. And so we brought together facilitators from all over the UK, all over the world, and we are talking in little fits and starts about the work we do and how we want to be better at the work we do, because how can we help other people learn if we're not learning ourselves? But because we are self-professed experts in the world of learning, we want to do it in the best possible way, and that means being outdoors, having fun, surrounding yourself with the best people, showing up, being present, giving hugs, giving loves, giving support, and just being our best selves as we go on this amazing learning journey together.
First SOFest, the inaugural edition. Thank you for being here. I've been dreaming about this bit, and standing here, whenever I go for a run, I'm like, what's it going to be like? And looking out at a sea of faces, and many of you, I know really, really well, and friends. So it's rather cool. So thank you very, very much for being here.
And what a beautiful setting to be having these conversations. And today I'm going to talk about something that is really, really close to my heart, which is about business operations.
I spent most of my school career sitting in the corridor because I was too difficult and too disruptive.
We've had all kinds of sessions, presentations, people talking about neurodiversity, about business. We've had some human design sessions. We've had sessions where people have looked at making cards, a bit like games, to help explain concepts, to get people involved in what they're doing from a learning perspective. There have been some sessions that have been on business processes. Others have been more about our personal development, some yoga, some guided meditation. Also, there was creating little vision cards. We're in a place where there's a lake, which I don't think you can see in the video. It's behind the trees. So you can do some wild swimming if you want to. There's yoga tomorrow morning. There's a silent disco where you wear headphones.
What AI and role-play allows you to do is give that personalised learning experience to every single learner that you're working with.
There was people just trying to get their heads around, you could use AI as a coach to role play, oh my god. And then there was some people that perhaps more experienced in terms of, well, how do we make that more nuanced, or how do we make that work for our clients, or what does that actually mean in practice? So it's always interesting when there's a range of experience, people who are just dipping their toe in it, and some people who've had a really good go at it. So that's fabulous.
And Melanie, you've got some experience of this already.
Yeah, actually, I just loved it, by the way, because it's we do a lot of work in transfer of really how to make learning stick, and actually that's where I see the biggest opportunity for AI. Because coaching is so expensive if you want to make it scalable.
Yeah.
So very often it's not available for everyone, but we all know, especially on soft skills, unless people really get a chance to actively keep practicing, it's not going to stick.
Yeah.
And so I use it a lot for after the training. So I've never experimented in the training. I still use actors for that. Because I'm married to an actor, and that's how I met him, so I'm biased. I don't want him to lose the job. But I use it a lot for afterwards, because I think that's where we can really provide people with that opportunity to keep practicing in a very highly personalized way, or how you said, hyper-personalized.
Hyper-personalized,
So I think that's great. It's just awesome.
And absolutely, it's not about replacing trainers and facilitators.
Supplementing it, complementing it. Because I think that's where a lot of our clients say, but how do I scale this? I know they should keep practicing, but we don't have the budget for it. And I think that's where AI provides a great opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
I'm with volunteers here at SOFest. SOFest has been amazing. It's a great opportunity. I'm a bit of an introvert, but great opportunity to have a soft launch into it. But just the background things, helping people out and making sure it lands well for everybody. And in the process of doing that, I also get a chance to meet everybody, whether it's arriving, checking in to check they're having a good time.
Clients are really only interested in one of two things. They've either got a problem that you can help them get rid of, or they haven't got a result you can help them to accomplish. That's what they're really interested in. So when you think about what you do for them, it's useful to think about in terms of what's the problem that you solve for people, or what's the result that you're enabling for them.
How to position yourself in the sea of people who do very similar stuff. So about identifying your ideal client, your specialism, and the messaging and positioning that you're going to do to get that message across. Niching is not necessarily the way, it's more about specialisms, which are more hats that you can change, whereas niching feels very constraining. And it was also about actually sitting there thinking, well, who do I really want to work with? Who have I really enjoyed working with? And perhaps those are the people, not necessarily people tell me who I should work with. So that was insightful.
Design your sessions with emotions in mind. And I'd always thought emotions and energy levels and interest, that's something that I would do on the day when I facilitate, keeping an eye and making sure. But it was really interesting to see how I can bring that into my design, to design content, to design activities that could raise, reduce, manage and influence emotions. So that was really good.
You're the person, the Gen Z, speaking about Gen Z as almost as if it's a secret, and it's not a secret.
Think about who's your ideal audience, who you want to connect with, and who you are as well, actually, and how you want to show up.
And I think it's the turn up. Turn up and be yourself, because if you're trying to reach your ideal client, they've got to know they've got to know who you are, and if you follow an algorithm, they will know what the algorithm is telling them. But if they want to work with you, let them see you.
And then also you'll end up sounding like everybody else, which is just why we want to do that. And I think people buy people, and they want to see you.
We do it in business, and also your own businesses and your clients' businesses, because we have to take people to a better place in a better way. We have to grow, we have to transform, and we have to innovate.
One of the things I would say about kind of midlife, and I know it's such a cliche term, if not now then when, and some of you that were in a session that I was in, and I said, first time in my life at 61, I can actually say I feel comfortable in my own skin.
Being more intentional about asking for referrals, how many of you do that?
I don't.
What stops you from doing it?
I forget.
It's icky.
This is the Go Canvas, a very simple tool to have very structured conversations with clients to agree on why are we doing the training, what problem are we trying to solve, so that we can also evaluate afterwards whether we actually reached that destination.
Connection, I think, is actually really, really important. And I would encourage you to keep experimenting, keep doing this, because you'll just gain so much more knowledge about your relationships with your work, with the organisations, with the people, but you can also use this elsewhere as well.
The vibe here, everyone's super chilled, everyone's like, I've done lots of sporting events and I've done weddings here and all sorts of stuff, but this is really, really chilled out. People are connecting, engaging with each other. It's got like a real laid back feeling to it, but also there's a lot of structure to it, which is really nice.
For the first time ever, I went wild swimming in the lake, which is something I've always fancied, and I'd had a good night last night, so it was a nice fresh start to the morning, which was amazing. And then even better than that, after I finished my relatively quick dip wild swimming, I managed to fit in a bit of silent disco and some singing, my favourite songs. And yeah, it was super fun.
It's exceeded my expectations, actually. The venue is really great, and the whole setup makes you feel quite relaxed, and you feel like in a safe space, which is no joking matter, actually, because I've been to lots of things which I've never done before or thought about before. I didn't want to feel foolish, but didn't feel I would by being in the first yoga session that I'd ever done. You know, who would think of that? But the actual more technical sessions, leadership sessions, have been really insightful.
It's just been a real roller coaster of an experience. The nervousness, the not knowing what to expect before getting here. Not quite sure who I was going to be staying in the tent with. What it was going to be like being outside, surrounded by people, especially when I'm so much on my own. I work on my own, I live on my own. And then I knew there was enough faith, enough trust that this is a community that it's a tribe.
we have each other's backs, and it's really blossomed into more than I could have expected. Actually, the weather has just, I think, been the icing on the cake for me.
The whole attraction of SOFest was the combination of this sort of festival atmosphere in this beautiful location and the opportunity to be amongst so many like-minded people. We're all in the same industry, we're all in the same profession, and we all have the same heart, I think, as well.
Everyone seems to have had a really good time, so the closing circle will be meaningful and joyful.
I wanted to create an experience that was outdoors, in nature, not confined by four walls. I've achieved what I had in the vision in terms of out in nature, lots of amazing people coming and giving themselves permission and time out of their business to develop, to grow, to nurture themselves and not be sort of in the day-to-day.
I think that's the stuff that almost you can't put a price on. Almost, how do you quantify that? Because that's the magic. And I think it's the stuff that we should talk more about, are those insights and connections and almost that deep and personal, meaningful element beyond, I learned this. Maybe that's my job as editor of TJ, to explore that.
I think anything is possible if you you can make your dreams come true. Because I've been thinking about doing this since 2019, so I do think anything's possible if you put your mind to it.
It's been a meaningful experience for me.
What did she keep?